What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Clown blog, and we're about to cut up this Sunday because your girl, she got a few things on her mind. Okay, got a few things on her mind. And if you see from the thumbnail, you're wondering, Erica, who are all those black men in purple robes? Like, why you got these black men as your thumbnail in purple robes? Well, in Memphis, almost hundreds of black men came out, wrapped around the corners of the building in purple robes and attire to march against something. Mostly it's just a display of force because they've done this before. So the video's got 6 million views and they call themselves Israelites. Now listen, I'm not here to fuss with you about are they Israelites. That you can talk about amongst yourself. But here's my problem. Y'all got 1,000 brothers out there in purple robes outside. Could we not take that money and put it somewhere else? Could we not take all that energy and that time and put it somewhere else? Could we not find something more to do than putting together purple robes to stand outside on corners in unison chanting? Because you know what that means? That means y'all took hours of practice and focus chanting and yelling in purple robes so that when you got on the street, y'all be in sync in your purple robes. And I'm like, is that what we do now? Is that what we're doing with our time? But then I had to take a step back. I said, Erica, people like to belong to groups and functions like to show a power force. Listen, Cam, I was trying to get a couple other people on here to come on so we could cut up, but they didn't want to do it today. So we'll do it on another day. But I have to do this. I watched the show the other day, and I'm not talking bad about this show, but they had callers call in. And a man who was over 40 talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm broke. I'm broke, but the ladies, basically he's a broke, dusty Jerome at 40 something years old, got a girlfriend, who knows how. She lost her job and expects him to step up and help. And all the men on the panel are like, yeah, you ain't got to help, man. You broke, man. That's some damn foolishness. I almost had to almost threw up in my mouth because it was so gross. The thought that there's somebody in this world over 40 years old, proud of the fact they broke, trying to master, listen to me now, trying to master the skill to pick up more women while still remaining broke. Where do they do that at? Where are you finding these men and women in life whose job is just to, one, if you're a woman, look pretty and have nothing upstairs, and two, if you're a man, be broke, but hey, I'm getting the bitches. That is disgusting. Oh my gosh. I didn't know these people existed. I didn't know. Y'all didn't tell me that these people were out there with this foolishness. Why didn't y'all did me wrong. I just didn't know they was out there. I thought that everybody by 40 was trying to get their life together. What? And even in the weekend review, there was a man. I just watched it. I posted on Facebook. Saw Glendon click the link and some other people. The boy was 14, couldn't read. Police come to the door. Tell the mom and dad, we're going to take your son. We're going to talk to him. Without your presence. Homeboy spends like 20 years in jail. Come to find out, it's in New York, where you black people love saying New York ain't racist. It's racist. So long story short, he spends almost 20 years in jail from the age of 14, y'all. And it's like, oh my God, yo. Oh, Man of Tomorrow, thank you. Man of Tomorrow just sponsored your show, y'all. He put $100 down. That is the show sponsor today. On Sundays, I cut up. And, he couldn't read. His mom and dad let him go out the door with these police officers. Long story short, homeboy go to jail for 20 years. In jail, learns how to read and get his GED. And it's from people sending books to the prison. I mean, that's amazing that people are sending books to the prison. And I send books to a prison program. But just it connected when I saw this man in this video who all of a sudden he gets out of jail. He's exonerated. And 80% of the cases of the New York cop scare if anybody's seen the article, It's Scarfelli. It's like some kind of Italian name. And when they called Scarfelli, he didn't feel no type of way. He's like, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. Scarfelli, this man done went to jail for almost 20 years, bro. Well, he technically went to jail for, so he was like, oh, like maybe like 15 years. So he was 30 years old when he came out. But then he had 10 more years of probation. And all this time they've been fighting to exonerate him. And he finally's been exonerated. Now, in this whole scenario, what I'm talking about, y'all gonna get mad at me, but I'm gonna say it, his parents failed. If they did, how do you not know your child cannot read? Like I'm hearing this story more and more. There's a guy at our church, white guy, talking about nobody knew he was dyslexic. How, Sway? That means your mom and your dad were not checking your homework. They weren't checking your handwriting. Like if they asked you to, little Billy, write this thing on this piece of paper, and you were writing it some letters backwards, nobody questioned it. Nobody even cared enough about little Billy to check on it. Like they failed. Now you can say what you want. Well, Erica, the police, you know, they just let them go with them because they didn't know no better. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay. I'll let you have it, because every time I say anything about parents, you guys are like, you ain't no parent now. You can't even do nothing about that. You not no parent. You don't tell us what to do with our babies. Wow. And so I got a couple more news stories I want to throw in here, because I got some hate emails when I talked about Master P and the Postal Service girl. I thought y'all liked that show. A lot of y'all liked that show. That was a good show about that postal worker girl. And a bunch of y'all sent me angry emails. Erica, you need to eat before you get on camera. You need to calm down, and you need to stop talking so bad about that girl with 4 kids at 20 years old. What? The show, the whole Classy Climb blog is for people to talk about financial experiences, for us how to grow our income. I'm just pointing out stories as examples, which I'm going to bring back out some more stories today. Since y'all want to send emails, send me some more emails. Okay? You're going to write me 8 paragraphs, Otis. Send me some dollars, okay? I read that thing like, did this man just send me 8 paragraphs? Yes, he did. He surely did. So look, here's the problem. Somebody's got to take responsibility. And you can't go, it's society, everybody's racist, there's some people choosing to be lackluster. They're choosing to be these busters at 40 years old who, you know what, hey, girl, you know I'm broke, girl, but I got an apartment, I got some noodle packs, and I'm getting all these ladies. And you know what the sad part is? I really believe that some of these women that date these men that's that old, 1, they probably lonely. 2, they probably have some little hope that this Negro will get himself together at 40 something years old. That's what it is. And even, like, you ever heard the saying, water seeks its own level? I kind of think that's happening too, where he's a bum and he met a female lady bum, and now they the bums together, but then when it's necessary for him to actually contribute, it's like, what? I actually might have to do something. I mean, and listen, hey, I didn't let the lady bums off. I'll get on them too. There's a problem in our society with lady bums, okay? We see it on Instagram. Like I said earlier, in the summertime, the summer dresses be winning. But in the winter, you ladies have to get a personality, because it takes more than shit walking with a nice bum bum to live through life, okay? You know, I don't just hate on one or the other. I'm being honest. Like that girl, Ebony, I did look up the video. The man who sent it to me, thank you, other Otis. She is a good looking black girl. She's good looking. She is. And she's 20 years old with 4 kids. And she gonna have some jail time. So it's like, you know, somebody might help her. Somebody might go, that poor girl with these 4 kids. Somebody in Wisconsin, some lonely dude, he may do it. I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen it. I mean, there's right now in Austin, there's a guy, he's a business owner. He's been a business owner for 15 years. And, you know, he was lonely. He made it very clear he was lonely. And a girl at church with 4 kids got him. Everybody like, damn, bro, was you that lonely? Maybe so. She was nice. She's a nice girl. She's got 4 kids. So, and let me make clear. There's a difference between somebody who's divorced and somebody who just having sporadic kids, right? So let's even do that. Okay, another example for the week. Nivea. I'm going to read back y'all comments. I'm going to get back on it. Don't worry. I'm like, I was supposed to go. I'm parked at Gold's Gym. I was supposed to get in there on the treadmill, but I have to talk about this because I'm just shocked, just shocked. Nivea, who was with Lil Wayne, and then was also married to the Dream, she came on and she did a video. And if this, I'm saying this, and y'all gonna hate me, I understand. Nivea is the example why women shouldn't have kids by themselves. Now you're gonna say, Erica, she was married to Dream. She was married to Dream. They were two entertainers, and he left her to the curb as soon as he made some money and married some other woman. Now, she done had these kids by Wayne on the front end and on the back end. Now, say what you will. Those men are not in those children's lives. Now, you're going to say, Erica, no, I saw a picture. Hear what I'm saying. I know single dads, and when they're involved, they're going to parent-teacher conferences. They're going to Little League games. They're dropping kids off. They're taking them to tutoring. They're in the life. When that girl was talking in that video and she looked like she's about to have a nervous breakdown, that is a woman who wanted to be a singer, but somehow realized she's a divorced mom with 4 kids, and the men are sending some money, but money does not replace a person. And that's what we don't understand in our society. A lot of women like, just send me the check. It's more than the check. When these women are complaining about child support, it's more than the check. It's your presence. Men are needed. You can look at families where it's a husband and wife. Even if the husband lazy at the house, don't cook, don't clean, don't wash, he's there enough to give that woman a break. And you can see that video of Nivea looking like she's about to have a nervous fucking breakdown. She's literally crying, talking about she's going to be there for those kids, if nothing else. That's a damn shame, y'all. She's in Atlanta. Okay, she was in Atlanta in a house that didn't have a working bathroom growing up. What the fuck is going on in Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And hence why you have to learn, just because somebody sends a check, it's not enough. And even in the video, she said people told her, somebody told her she should just get a nanny. She should just get a nanny. Help her out. And she's like, I want to be there for these kids. I want to do more than just because they send a check. A nanny is not a dad. A nanny is not a full-time dad parent that's there on the every day. Y'all know a little bit of my story. When my parents split, my dad was having issues, but he was in Alaska and he called us every day off the school bus. If we did not pick up that phone, getting into that house, he called somebody else and was concerned. Where are the kids at? Are they okay? They didn't answer the phone. Because Alaska time, it was his lunch and we were getting off the school bus. So he'd be like, boop, 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 every single day. Spent the summers with them in Alaska. I cannot even explain to you the value of speaking to your father every day. And the value of when I talk to men and they come off a little bit disrespectful, I'm like, oh, you're done. I haven't been trained to listen to smooth talking game. Like some of my friends say, ooh, girl, you don't let nobody get by you. It's not that I don't let nobody get by me. I've just had enough men in my life that are consistent. I have 6 uncles. I've got like 15 boy cousins. They're all consistent men going to work. When they say they're going to be somewhere, they're going to be there. If they say they're going to pick you up, they're going to pick you up. When they're going to call you on the phone to make sure you got home, they're going to make sure you got home. So I just fear for these ladies out here who, when they hear these yokels, these broke bums coming with some smooth talking game, they fall for it. How, Sway? He has to have results. He has to have some kind of result somewhere. And when I put in the title about mastery, what I put about the title about mastery is you can tell where people have mastered. They've mastered TV. They've mastered snack foods. They mastered just shit. I'm getting women, but I'm broke. What the kind of life is that, yo? And I'm going to FidCon this week, y'all. I've been talking about it all over Instagram, everywhere. I'm going to FidCon and I have more subscribers and more Instagram followers and more Twitter people than some of the people speaking on stage. That's how low the bar is. The bar is so low that they're looking for people to, hey, could you come on stage and speak? Like, the bar is so low in our society, white, black, whoever. It's so low. They did an article about certain Asian people getting on Social Security. Now, you may think the Asian stereotype is they went in, Asian supremacy, but you're forgetting about those Cambodians. You're forgetting about the Hmong people. You're forgetting about the Vietnamese. You're forgetting about these other people who the math and the English and the education isn't there for them. They came to America late, or they came to America in the 70s and started getting on those fish boats and working, and now they old and they back hurts. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, and then I was sharing the article again, the point of the woman who, she had got all these tax refunds. Like, she was filing fake tax refunds. She on Instagram stunting, on Facebook stunting, multiple cars stunting, living in a neighborhood. She know the neighbors looking at her every day, stunting, in this big old house. And guess what? The FBI was all up on her. Like, it's like an American Greed story. I went for her story to be on American Greed. It's like she mastered how to do something wrong so great. She made hundreds of thousands of dollars, bought a house, got cars. And that's the problem. The two extra steps where you could do something the right way, people won't even do. When that man said his age, he's like, I'm in my 40s and I'm just trying to figure out how to get more women because, I'm broke. And this woman that I'm dealing with, which basically means this woman that he's really his girlfriend, he's trying to play like it ain't, she expected me to step up in my 40s and do something. Yeah, bro, because you're fucking 40. That's disgusting. Like, you're a bum. And I've actually seen, I remember, I'm going to tell y'all this story, and this is horrible. I hope you don't never watch this channel. I was dating a young man back in North Carolina, and something about him was not quality enough. I didn't know it yet, but I knew something in there was not quality. And I went to meet his family because he wanted to go meet my family, so I wanted to meet his family first. I met his family, and his mother, y'all, his mother, when he left the room, says, what does a bright girl like you do with my son? Y'all, do you know, in my spirit, I almost jumped up out the house. Like, when someone's mother is shitting on them. Like, that's just a dysfunctional situation. Like, these people are dysfunctional. But if your mom say you ain't shit, you got to be just ain't shit. So from then on, when I went home and I told my family what his mom said, they were like, girl, change your phone number. My uncle was like, I'll pay for you a new phone. Because that's how you have to get away from the bullshit, y'all. People are showing you their life. They're showing you their results. Like, they're showing you their dysfunction early. People are choosing to ignore it. And I get it. That reason I made them the thumbnail is those men out there in that sea of men I saw, they all just want to belong and have friendship. And I understand that. But you have to decide what quality of friends. Like, you're the door, the gateway to stop the fuckery. If you having bad results in life or bad situations, you got to be the door. You got to be the gateway, right? You got to be the conductor, because you running the train, right? The buck stops with you. You ever heard that? The buck stops with you. That's a real thing. Like, if you don't like the results, the buck stops with you. And I don't think people want to hear that anymore. And you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on? So there's this thing where, I was talking with, I'm going to FidCon and we have this house. We're going to be in this amazing, beautiful house. And there's a couple in there. They're wealthy as shit. And I want to bring them on and show you, like, the transition from just moving out of one environment to the next and taking responsibility along the way and how much that changes your life. And it's just mastering one thing. Like, if you see these people on bigger projects, they've mastered one thing. They house hack, or they have rentals, or they, like the little Asian dude, the credit card thing. Like, they master one thing. But here's the key. The reason they stand out is because some people master nothing. Nothing. The fuckery. They master TV channels. They master documentaries. I talked to this one person, and they were just naming off documentary after documentary they watch. I'm like, I don't even have TV time like that. I don't even got time to watch TV like that. But thank you for the information. Y'all. Prime, the same thing with I'll go to the other extreme. There's doctors who are broke. There are doctors who are in credit card debt. There are doctors who couldn't put money together if they needed to, right? They got to keep working forever because they focused on one thing, and that's saving people's lives, thank God. But, like, at the end of the day, like, in that equation is What are you focusing on? What are you mastering? You know, the funny thing, and Mr. Money Mustache is going to talk on Saturday, but I've got a big thing to do at the house on Saturday. So hopefully I'll catch him before that. I mean, I've messaged a lot of people like, hey, I want to see you beforehand. We'll see what happens. But like, I'm telling y'all, there's some people at VidCon. I went to their YouTube channels. I went to their Instagram. I'm like, there's 500 people subscribed to this man's channel. Are we for real right now? This man's been doing this for less than 6 months. Are we for real right now? But what I understand is that I will go on the other side of that too. There's some people with some beautiful, shiny websites. And I've always told y'all my website's ugly because I wasn't spending money. It was just me throwing thoughts up there. But in the end, it's the freedom, right? They've mastered enough to be free, like Money Mustache. You know, people may make fun of him. It's such an extreme thing, but he's been retired for years. They go on vacation all year long. They got one house in Colorado where it's crazy expensive. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, y'all, I'm just, what was the other story I was like, wrote down I wanted to talk to y'all about? Oh gosh, there was another story. Oh, well, it may be. I can't remember exactly, but it was like that whole Master P thing where people are like, well, where are they going to get $100 from, Erica? It's only going to be illegal. And I feel like that is such shitting on these kids. You're just shitting all over these kids like they're an idiot. I've seen kids on YouTube right now. Hey, I'm making $300 a week. I'm writing college level papers. That's a damn shame for one, but they're writing college level papers. They're doing all type of activities. If you go outside your damn house, you can find things to do. There was a boy on MTV, and I almost wanted to call somebody up and be like, can we get a lawyer for this kid? He was in jail because he figured out how to get $100,000 off credit cards. Now, yes, was he scamming? Yes, but he had mastered the technology to go in the computer, go through a bank, and get money out. Now, they weren't going to charge him with opening the bank essentially online, if you guys can imagine what I'm trying to say. Like breaking through people's passwords and logging in on the computer through the bank system online. But they were charging him with credit card fraud, right? And the thing is, that kid spent so many hours learning all this computer technology stuff. This kid should be somewhere out of that environment of that mother who has failed. She just has. And father. And put him somewhere where he can use all that technology and all those skills. But the sad part, just like the girl I told you that was 20 with the 4 kids and stole 6,000 pieces of mail, this kid has now stolen from banks and people's credit cards, and that's going to be on his record. So when we want to send him to go get coding or some kind of technical skill, guess what? Now he still has to pack a background check when he gets a job. Google ain't hiring him. Companies where they might have the data breach, they can't hire him. But some smaller company could. Somebody where he could provide a service could. Exactly. That kid, and the sad part is that kid was like 5'4", 5'3", 5'4". If you see it on the TV, it's like Scared Straight or some shit like that, where he's trying to talk to these kids. And he was like, when he goes to eat in the cafeteria, people slap food off his plate. And he's in the county jail with the young people in the county jail. And the young people are monsters already in the county jail. And they're knocking his food down. And bigger men are smashing up in his face. You're destroying a life. They send that kid away. They're destroying his life. And the first thing when I watched that channel, I'm like, you know, if I was a little bit more wealthier, I would go call a lawyer. Let's get that kid in some kind of magical program where he can come out and do some kind of computer work. Because there's no reason for that. There's no reason. I just don't understand here. I don't understand. There you go, Jessica. The FBI hired a hacker and paid him $70K and he was just 18. It was on American Greed. I remember seeing that one, I think. Him and the friends had the ring, but he was white. But not even that, he's white. But I'm just saying, he has nobody to advocate for him. Advocate for him. That's my problem, you know? Like, when I see stuff like that, it's so frustrating because I'm like, it's environment. The kids mastered something, but it's the wrong way. You know, there's a song called I Did Everything, but I Did It the Wrong Way. It's Sublime. It's from the 90s, but I'm going to read some of these comments and calm down. y'all don't understand. When I see the news and I see where it's going, I see the projection. If you're not getting these young, I'm not just saying young black boys, I'm talking about young boys, period. We need men in this society to do, let's be honest, the dangerous work. I hate to do y'all like that, but like the dangerous work, the plumbing, the roofing, climbing on top of things. Those are men's jobs, and we have a whole society of men that are like, they're not equipped to do that. There was an article talking about kids had feeble fingers. Like they were putting them in strength tests and they couldn't do certain things. What? I mean, it's like they're not even climbing on monkey bars. They don't even get no. So it's like I was reading the article, and the more thing, there's a book called Men Left Behind or something like that. I'll find it and we'll talk about it again. I'll do another video on this, a better video. But essentially, it was all these books of like, there's like 20 million men that want to be in work that can't work, which I know the number is bigger. And it ties into that 1 in 3 men, 19 to 34, live at home. Those people don't want to be there necessarily. That is something financial. And if we don't start encouraging people to master something, you're going to see more of that. And it's women too. Look, you can't live off your looks, but let's be really honest. I already told y'all last video or a couple videos ago that over the last 10 years, 13 stay-at-home moms went up 13%. It went up 13%. Ladies are going to stay at home, even if there's a recession. I hate to say this. Even if there's a recession, Big Booty Brenda will find some guy and he'll keep going to work, and Big Booty Brenda will move her and her kids in, and she'll live low. She'll magically bring the cost down of living because of the recession. I've seen it. That's all I'm saying. I've seen it before. So, I mean, it ain't right, but that's what I've seen. Seen people all of a sudden. I see a lot of women at church all of a sudden in their 40s jumped up and married some nerdy guy that they wouldn't even look at before. I'm at Gold's Gym, and this is a pre-workout. Hold on. Ooh, girl. Ooh, feel that a little bit. In this parking lot, there's been men parking cars, not new cars, white men parking very not new cars. Talking about old cars, old Hondas, coming out very buff because they're mastering something. They may not got the money. You never know. He maybe has some money at home. He just driving an old car, but they're mastering something. And whether it's just bodybuilding, I can appreciate at least having some focus in some area. But even they need to be well-rounded in life. So I'm going to go back through and read some of these things. I'm just so hot from the articles I was reading today. I just couldn't take it. Like all these parents letting their kids talk to the police without them there. And there was some kid, they put handcuffs on him. He started peeing on himself. And they were like, how old are you? 11. Look at his face, you dumbasses. You know that kid's a babe. Right? And so they took the handcuff. They're like, you're okay. You're all right. And the woman's out there. I just almost went through the camera and just punched her right in the face. I just can't even take it, y'all. I don't understand these people who are just mastering in nothing, who are like okay with being, there's nothing wrong with average. Let's make this very clear. If you want to come home Monday through Friday after working and eat dinner with your family and just chill and veg out, that's fine. But guess what? I don't want to hear you complain. I don't want to hear you complain about more money. I don't hear you complain about taxes. I don't hear you complain about none of that because you've chosen to be like, whoop, way low. Okay. So I don't want to hear about it. You can live that life. Gary Vee was even talking about he's got some friends like that, but don't complain. Like you've chosen that road. Don't complain. That's my only hiccup on that. Hello, Al Gordon, Lisa, Geek Surgeon, Cam, could you please paste the bundles in there if you can get it from the last show, or go to the show and just copy off the description of the last show. The thing of it is the reason I put the bundles together before we even go into the segment rereading these comments. Bundle 1 is the marijuana investment course and the tax lien course. I'm going to do some marijuana videos this week, but also November 14th through the 17th, I'll be at the Marijuana Investment Conference. It's going to be amazing. My video kid's going to be there with me. So if you come up, you're going to be on camera or whatever. It's all good. I put those two in a bundle and it's $175. It's bundle number 1. If somebody can post it, any of the moderators. Because when the prices go up October 1st, I don't want you to act surprised. I've been telling you for a whole month they're going up, like drastically up, because we added staff members. Content's going to change. I'll still do in-car videos. You know what I mean? I'll do pop-up videos, but majority of the other content is going to go crazy because we're doing a rehab show, fixing a house property in Detroit. We're going to do the trucking show. There's going to be some other stuff where we're going to do it, and I'm going to show you the process of me doing a rehab show, right? And so in order for those things to happen, prices got to go up. So take advantage of these great bundles while they last. So bundle 1 is $175. You click the link, you get that. Takes 48 hours because Some of y'all hit me up on the first day, so it takes 24 to 48 hours. I work pretty fast. Bundle 2 is the mammy. It's everything. It's everything. It's the tax lien course. It's the marijuana investment course. It's the laptop to ATM. It's the financial freedom starts at the basement, and it is the one-page business plan, which includes the bank book that all you've been asking about. All those 5 courses for $300 in that link. If anybody posts it, can be yours. There's 100 of you here. Make sure you hit the like button as we segue into the comment section of crazy. Are you guys ready? Al Gore and Franklin Sunday Ramble Show. Pew pew pew. Cutting up. I am a little bit. Surely you're kidding, Nicole Williams. Sadly, I am not. Man of Tomorrow, again, thank you for sponsoring the show today. Can we clone you? We really need more of you there. Isn't enough. Preach. More than welcome in the new order. I mean, the crazy part is like, I want to do a show saying we need men. And people are going to be like, Erica, no. But I went into 3 different offices this week. And on the desk, a woman had, the future is female. And I was like, what? Now listen, I'm cool girl like the rest of them. I want to be able to go to work, walk down the street and not be assaulted. I want men to act like they got sense. Cool. But to say the future is female, it just doesn't make any sense, because even high paid lawyers, super high income women take a break around that 30-year mark and go home and have kids and try to get out of the marketplace for at least 10 years. And I saw where a woman, this was what it was. This is what it was. There was a stabbing at a daycare. Now, I'm not trying to make Sunday show all depressing, but there was a stabbing at a daycare, and there was a baby in there that was 3 days old. And there were babies in there that were 2 weeks old. Why did you have a child if you have to, on day 3, put your baby in daycare? In 2 weeks, put your baby in daycare. What are you doing? You cannot afford a baby if you have to put your baby in daycare in 2 weeks. You get fucking 6 weeks off. And for those who say, well, Erica, they don't got 6 weeks if they don't got a real job, they shouldn't be having a child. Now, you're going to say, Erica, that woman shouldn't have stabbed those babies. That's correct. That woman should not have stabbed those babies. That was horrific. That was terrible. Maybe she snapped. But again, who the fuck has a 3-day-old baby in a daycare? Part 2, there was another daycare lady tying up kids and putting them in car seats. And so the kid's been sitting up in a car seat in a closet all day. And the moms come home, come pick them up. And one black lady was like, I bet my kid's been there a year and he's been crying every time I drop him off. You person. I'm trying so hard to be good, y'all. You person. What financial condition are you in that when you take your kid somewhere every morning, he screams his head off like a danger zone, like you're putting me in danger, and you keep bringing him there? Now, this part is part of lack of community. This is lack of grandparents, because if you're working and your mom is still working because she can't afford to be retired, there's nobody watching the fucking kids. And that's how it used to work. That's how it used to work. There's people in Austin who moved back to their original cities because they're like, we had a baby and we need help. And we're like, well, you got nannies and stuff. No. We need like a community, our family to help. That's how it's supposed to work. And I know some of you are coming in and out because I'm ranting, and that's okay. I'm okay if I lost you. Every show can't be me giving you a million ideas on how to make extra money and a million ideas on how to put money in your pocket. Sometimes we have to talk about social commentary. And that is today. So, the thing of it is I made it clear in all the comments. Why are you having babies if you don't plan to stay home with them? Because these people think it's a pride to just dump these kids off at these daycares. They take pride in dumping these damn kids off at school. In Durham County, they were calling the schools in anger because of the storm. Their kids weren't in school. The fucking roads are flooded. But they were so busy trying to have a babysitter. School is not a babysitter. I don't know if you've been noticing the trends, but I'll tell you, high income people, highly educated people are pulling their kids out of school. They're putting them in private school. They're putting them in homeschool. 100,000 black kids, it went up. Families are homeschooling their black kids. All of a sudden, it's just spiking because it is so, because if you're sending your kid to a school and they're treating it like a daycare, your kid doesn't care. You can't read. You come home, you don't care. I don't want that kid around my kid. Not that I can have faith in influencing that my kid will be so great, but my kid will be around your kid for 8 hours a day. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. No way. And that's the truth. That's why homeschool's going up. That's why stay-at-home moms are going up. They are not leaving their kids up in them schools. I can tell you the horrors of being a black nerd in school. Horrors. Black kids going out of their way to try to assault me and try to assault my sister. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, horrible. Like, never will put my kids in any. And this was a good public school. That's the thing. That's the kicker. The bad public school, the black kids were bad to me. That's whatever. The good public school, kids were still assholes. Wasn't until I started playing sports and started saying, I'm going to kick your ass. You come over here again. Did that stop? But I don't want to have to put my kids in a school system where they've got to be fighting kids till 9th grade before they get out of their face because now they're taller. Because I'm barely 5'7", but tall enough that most girls who are 5'4", they know better. So anyway, off to the comments. And I know people are like, Erica's having a moment. No. Erica's telling truth. That's what it is. Folks are mostly attracted to being associated to a movement rather than doing something great and productively transforming themselves in the long term. Exactly, Cam. They want to be a part of the group. I was getting a motorcycle and I'm still getting it. And people are like, oh, what group are you joining? I'm just trying to learn how to ride first, baby. I'm not joining for friends. But that's where people do. They're going for friends. They need friends. And, even here they have co-ed sports teams. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to join this co-ed sports team. And people are like, oh, you're going for friends? Like, I'm going to get active. I'm going to play kickball because who else can I play kickball with? Nobody I know growing wants to play kickball. I mean, it's just the transformation, like master something. Very true. Francine, Al Gordon, Erica, you need to create a shirt and an iPhone wallpaper with a statement that states classy climber stand for. It can be a daily reminder your followers are what we're fighting for. You guys, you don't understand how many people I've gone through on Fiverr. And I'm going to crowd design next. Crowd design and just put $300 up there and somebody come up with something. Help me out here. That's why I'm saying I got to get staff because there's just seeing some of those people's websites. They have shiny websites, but nobody's going to them. So, I mean, it's I take joy in the fact that you guys are here. You guys support. Thank you, Manna Tomorrow, for the $100 super chat. You sponsored the show. I mean, you guys are here because good stuff is being said. That's all. So, this is a mass movement. Thank you, Derek Bailey. I felt like that was a good show. Thought that was a good show. Leave those hood Negroes alone. Every time we say, leave those hood Negroes alone, don't you want to, what's funny is on the show, one of the guys was saying his friend kept dating broke, beautiful bitches, right? And then finally, he was like, I'm sick of this. And his wife isn't as fine, but she made $100,000 a year. And what was funny about them saying that is, at some age, you hope that men, grow enough to think, Big Booty Lisa that made bad decisions all her life. Yeah, I'd love to be with that. But I don't want the consequences that come from being with Big Booty Lisa. I actually want smart Katie over there to have my kids with so my kids aren't a bunch of dumbasses. But no, they rather have Big Booty Lisa that's a dumbass. But that's okay, because they get the consequences in the end of that. Right now, I know a family whose father is selling every business he has in his 80s because all his kids are a bunch of dumbasses in Fayetteville. So you're gonna get the consequences either now or later. It's up to you. So choose wisely. Same thing to the women. When you see super muscular ex-football playing Jerome, you see super muscular white dude walking by over there, you're like, oh, I want that. And he's dumb as a box of rocks. All right. Well, hey, when something goes wrong, you're in charge, unfortunately, and that's not the women's role, technically, so. Ray L, too many people identify with losers. That's why they email you criticizing you. And my thing is, if you're going to criticize me, come bring it here. Don't write me 8 paragraphs in an email. For what? For what? For what? Why? You didn't pay me to read that email. I'm reading that email. So, I love your show. Some people just don't like truth. Mentor Shelly, facts all day. The Cam, these are the same people who will be panhandling in 10 years trying to sell you a stolen calculator to pack of Newports for $1 or less. Those are crackheads. No, but that's the thing. Like, I'm sitting here and I just channel, and we do countless videos on like positivity and motivation and yeah, you know. But at the end of the day, I have to do some of these videos too because I can see the fuckery. I know y'all didn't tell me about the fuckeries out there, but then I got on Facebook and I saw it. And I was like, what is going on? And you know what? When people were like, oh, black people are going to be a permanent underclass. No, they're not. I'm going to FitCon and I'm going to Afrotech. November 8th through 11th, before I go to Marijuana Investment Conference, the 14th through the 17th. And I'm telling you, upper class black people is going on about their damn business. Man, and tomorrow, all these people, they're going about their business. Cam, going on about their business. They're going to be doing just fine in the next recession. It's going to be, I'm going to be careful. There's some households who people say, well, Erica, people can live together and save money. They can. But when I'm seeing people in Memphis and certain areas in 2-bedroom homes with like 10 people in them, that's unhealthy. That's not this isn't where our family had a crisis in the 80s and we all smashed up in a Victorian house or with a very big house from the old house and everybody had their own room. This is like people smashed up in 2- and 3-bedroom houses, 10 people deep, talking about, they're working together. I told y'all on the thing when I was in Houston, Hispanic lady crying for help, asking for donations from the radio station on the plea they were doing because from the last storm, their house was moldy and they couldn't live in it. And their grandma and grandpa in this house over there. And their kids are in this house. And their cousin and brothers over there. So you're telling me you have about damn 8 people in a house? And y'all can't repair it? Like, what? I mean, y'all missing these men that keep walking out of this gym. Jesus, help us. We need to get in there. But that's just doesn't make any sense. To have that many people contributing to live in one house and they can't even afford it. What happens in a recession, y'all? Right? There was a video I saw about California. This guy was driving through this area and it was like no parking on the street anywhere because it was so many Hispanic people piled up in one apartment. There's no parking on the street and they're just doing pop-up tents selling stuff. Selling food, selling whatever. No permits. Now you start a business or you try to go get a permit for your business, you're going through all these hurdles and hombre Julio out there with a tent up. You know what I mean? Like it gets to a point where you're like, whew, y'all, I'm trying to help those who want to be helped. But the people who are not listening, they just aren't going to listen. Prime example, I told you about the people in Houston that were flooded from the storm, stranded, needed a ride. Come to find out, as the news camera is talking to them, they also went through Hurricane Katrina with no car too. So you're telling me you got trapped in Katrina. Now it's almost 10, 12, 11 years later. And you're in the same financial position all these years later? What is happening to you? What are y'all mastering in? Nothing. They can't master in anything. It's just a bunch of nothing. So, all right. Ray L. Many people have settled into a lifestyle they want to live for the rest of their life. Some people can give up that life at 20 or even younger. 4 kids is 4 kids, no fly zone. Herbert Scott, these men be lined up. I be like, I know a lot of women who are divorced who are married on their 2nd and 3rd marriages. She's crazy as a loony bird, but the men stay lined up like, please, me next. And you be like, so when I hear these stories, I'm like, oh no, that's not true. And then I actually see some examples. I'm like, maybe it is. I don't know. It's crazy. Now, I did meet a man who I would call a Ken Barbie. Like, he was a very good looking guy, but he was like starting to get older. And we were talking to him, and this was his 4th marriage. The women always have more money. And he's just like, Mr. Handsome. Like, he showed a picture of himself in the 80s. And I was like, I'll give it to you, man. You were 80s heartthrob, but it is like 2018 now. You can let that go, bro. So, it's a white dude, but it's crazy. A presence with less money is more valuable than 6. No money, no father. I'm telling you, Ben the bartender. Like, the Dream and Lil Wayne got money. It's not about the money. Like, if they've already asked her, does she want a nanny? It's clear that the girl's stressed out. They just don't. They just aren't choosing to really be active in their lives. That's why when people have this whole argument that men can have multiple houses and multiple wives and multiple this, and I'm like, yeah, for most people, one-on-one is enough. Let's just be really honest. For most people, one-on-one is enough. And even if the man has multiple houses, he can afford to give them a house and some money. That is not his presence. He's not being a father there. I'm sorry. I know that people think men can have 5 wives and it's all good, but they still live all up in the same roof, though, in Utah. So a little bit different. A little bit different. And even those kids complain they don't even know who their dad. Like, they don't know him they don't know him intimately. And that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. So whenever I hear those poly arguments of like black dudes, we can have like multiple ladies in the house, stop. How about you go get some more money? Focus on that. But yeah, I can see that. I can see just if y'all don't watch nothing else, I have nothing to tell y'all today. Go look at that Nivea interview it's about 12 minutes. And it just and she went overseas. She sang in Germany and Japan and toured all over. But black people in America didn't like her music. It was too poppy. It was too happy. Are you kidding me? And that's what she lost to. She lost to that sea of whatever, the board that we cannot beat, that want the ratchet all the time. She should have just focused on, I hate to say it, white audiences and kept singing overseas in Germany and didn't come back and didn't have those kids with Lil Wayne or Dream. That's what she should have did. She was the only one to apply for the position. Now she's married. Sometimes that's true. When you know your worth, you won't settle for less. My youngest sister learned that from my late father too. She doesn't play when it comes to respect. Yeah, there's a lot of shenanigans people are out here with. Like, you could just talk to some guy and he thinks he's trying to be so cool, and you're like, stop, bro, stop. Like, whatever game you're trying to used car salesman thing you're trying to do, please get away from me. Like, it's like, as soon as you hear them, you're like, please get away from me. Like, get out of the people even in my DMs, like, oh, I think you're so smart, or something they'll do, and I'll be like, sir, spare me with that shit. Master snack food, they did preach it. Some just master swag, yeah, and that gets old. Like, and let me tell you, and here's the numbers. I realize it gets old about 32 to 34. Now, how do I know this? I go to a lot of conferences. I talk to a lot of people who have different clients, and they all end up having around the same time, like 31 to 34, the same clients who are like, I would say tall, good-looking black guys who, whatever, credit's horrible or something. Like, they all have the same stories. Horrible credit. Tall, want to move forward in life, can't, stuck. And it's always the same. I mean, some of that shit runs out. Swag with no money runs out. 40 years old, you're a bum. I saw this guy write this thing and it was kind of cracking me up. He's like, 55 bagging groceries. The dude's a bum. We can't call people bums anymore. I just died. I thought it was hilarious. Because some of that's true. Cam, there are tons of Indians who have very strong accents, but they are winning in lots of industries where 6-figure because of lack of Americans. Yeah, there's a lack of people. Like, they were saying, how can they convince more American kids to do science and math and all that stuff? And I was like, you pretty much have to at this point. And this guy said this about black kids, and I laugh, but it's true. He's like, you have to show a black kid, if you do this, you get this. He's like, when you come in as an Army recruiter, you pretty much have to say, you're going to get paid this much dollars this month. This, you know what I mean? Like, it literally, he says you have to almost go. People are so short-sighted and so microwave mentality that you telling them if they study really hard for 4 years and become an engineer, they're going to make $100,000. They're like, ooh, but I got to do math though. I'll just go in the Army and see if I can become a mechanical engineer. You know what I mean? Stuff like that does happen. She mastered being a scam artist. They do. I mean, like, I keep watching American Greed and people be mastering scamming, and it's like 2 more steps to the right, they would be a legit business person. Why? Like, this one guy had $8 million. And I was like, cool. He could go buy an apartment complex and start cutting people checks. No, he goes and buys a Porsche. He's cheating on his wife. He's got some girl on the side he's hooked up with. I'm like, dude, you're doing all this when you could just take that $8 million and just do what you said you're going to do. You said you're going to buy apartments. You raise the money. Go buy the apartments. Thank you, Desonic. Ray L. I know a woman whose black dude's mom said the same thing about him. Dude was pro-black, hating white people, living in a house white people bought for his mom at the church. He was like 60 something. See, he's way too old for that. Your environment can make you double think, overlooking less quality people around you. I've dealt with that growing up, but not until I changed my physical environment I found out I was right. Hey. Ask someone you know who's going to record an audio of his presentation so I can see it. Well, actually, Cam, it's only $99 for the virtual ticket. You can see every single show, every single thing. Every single thing. Every single room has a recording. The woman in Doctor Strange told him, you're spending so much time trying to save other people's lives when the most important life you need saving is your own. For real. Like right now, there's a couple people on the internet and they have big audiences, but they are also very big women. And there's one guy, he's a big dude. He's like 300 pounds. And I'm like, what you're saying is true. What you're saying is valid, but your health is the most important thing in your life. Like when I started telling people I'm paying for a personal trainer and when I come back, hold on, I'm going to pay for a meal prep. People are like, why? You should just walk around the neighborhood. I'm like, you know what that sounds like? Sounds like fuckery. Sounds like lack of accountability. And the problem with that is these people are mastering something so well, but they won't live to see it. There's no 80-year-old, 300-pound people. There's no 600-pound life at 80. These people die. People die. And honestly, when you sit here, like the book Compound Effect, if you walk every day, now this is a study. This is a study. I'll go Google it. I'll find the links. I'll do whatever you want me to do. But it was like women over like 42 or something, over 40 years old. If you walked an hour every day, you would maintain your weight. Like nothing else changed. Your diet stayed the same. All the food stayed the same. Your water, everything stayed. If you walked 1 hour a day, even if it was slow, you didn't gain any more weight. You stayed there. So imagine if you did just a little bit more than just walk every day. Let's say you added a class, a workout class. Let's say you cut some food. Like it's just a little bit extra that people won't do to get the results. Now, say what you will. It is easier for men to lose weight than women. And people are going to be like, Erica, that's not true. It is. But our body's a little bit more complicated. But at the end of the day, it's like a little bit of something, just a little bit extra creates the mastery. So. And in order for those people to be in business and stay in business and stay healthy long term, they need to go out and do some extra. That's right. Mr. Money is stunting on the ground because he can and because it's not even a big deal. Herbert Scott, Money Master's putting on the fire. Good. Oh, I know. Like Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, been the bartender. That's true. Many hackers do end up there. You just gotta get it right. I say this all the time. I shouldn't have to convince black men to want money. Ooh, Ray L. Energy should be focused on males who want success. Some of the biggest detractors to wealth creation are males. Wow. Y'all, Ray L just put in the word. Let's do that. Let's read that one more time. I say this all the time. I shouldn't have to convince black men to want money. Energy should be focused on males who want success. Some of the biggest detractors to wealth creation are males. Wow. That was, I'm going to put a thumbs up in my head on that because that's the truth. Because at the end of the day, we should be focusing more on children who want to win than those who don't. I'm just saying. Wow, Star Asia. I got locked out of my car on Friday. And all these dudes on the corner couldn't help me. I'm like, damn, y'all not handy with the wire hanger? Oh, shit. No, they're fucking bums. They're out there on the corner doing what? Just communicating, just standing around, just wanting to holler at women and be worrisome in the woman's day. Like, oh, so gross and sad. I cannot stay at home. I need my own cash, Erica. Well, that's true. I mean, like, here's the thing. You got to make it work for you. That's why I keep saying ownership. Ownership. We're not all going to be business owners. But I know some moms right now, unfortunately, her child is having a surgery. And she just had to let her job go. And everybody's like, oh, we're going to pray for you. Do you need help? She's like, oh, we have 2 rentals. We'll be okay. It wasn't even a sweat. Like, oh, I let that job go. That job had to go. Between me and the kid, job had to go. Big Booty Brenda, we do not know the laws. That's true. People will figure out how to still get food stamps, even though Trump is cutting them like crazy. We'll figure out disability. We'll figure out Section 8 just another day. Oh yeah, that's the sad part. They will spend hours and they will talk to all the hood ratchy mamas. How can we get on this government programs? And this is part of the emails y'all sent me. Erica, what about corporate bailouts? What about farmer bailouts? What about all these other bailouts? You're focusing on these poor people. It's such a small part of the budget. I don't give a fuck. It's a part of our society, and that they have children, and those children watch and observe their parents. Why do you think those men thinks it's okay to hang out on the corner all day? Because they mom somewhere just hanging out all day watching TV. It doesn't come out of nowhere. Because trust me, I know black fathers who, when they would go to work, if their son didn't work, you had to get out of the house. I remember this guy was super dramatic. He made his son, I get up at 8 a.m. to go on Fort Bragg. You have to leave this house. And I locked the door. And if I find out you got back in the house, your ass is out of here. So find somewhere you're going to be all day. And that's sad you have to do that. But that's kind of what makes you think you can sit in somebody's house all day. They had to see it somewhere. Mastery. It really is. When I was... Oh, no. Ray L, here's the thing. Those ladies didn't plan accordingly. Let's be really honest. And what's plan accordingly mean? If you want to be really honest, plan accordingly means go get a retirement husband. I used to think this was funny till I actually started noticing it. This woman was getting out of the military and somebody made a joke, do you have a retirement husband? And I was like, oh, what does that mean? But within a year later, she was married to somebody who was an older retired soldier. And I'm seeing a lot more women in their late 40s, mid 40s, marrying these 60-year-old dudes. I don't care what you say. Oh, he's so mature. He's so da-da. No, he ain't. He old. And you need a retirement husband. Sounds like a security plan. Ain't hating on you, girl. Do what you got to do. But I just saw a YouTube channel, and somebody corrected me and told me about it on here. I can't remember which one of y'all did, about the woman who's like, I got pregnant magically at 45, and I have this girl. And I was like, girl, you ain't no accident. Ain't no accident in that. 45, you know how your body works. And she called the baby Heaven, but it's reversed, like Nivea. So, there's a lot I could say to that, but I'm going to leave that alone. Thank you for putting the bundle 1 up there and bundle 2. Thank you so much. Maybe I'm about to watch a Nivea interview. Yes. It wasn't daycare. It was a Chinese anchor baby program. What? Let me go back, because there's two different things I was watching. If that may be the Chinese anchor baby thing with the stabbing. And that's also a problem, because in Russia, a lot of Russians in Chicago being caught with their anchor babies. That's a problem. But there was a daycare where the woman was putting them in the closet. She's got short hair. It's like this in a bob. Anybody Googles it. She's got brown hair and it's a little bit of boob right here. And she was putting kids in the closets. They got her. So there's a couple different stories this week. I'm just overloaded with all the stories of why the fuck are we using this many daycares? And especially, I know what people are doing. They're using a home daycare, which is cheaper than a legit commercial space daycare, because they want somewhere smaller. They want somewhere cheaper. They can't afford daycare. Essentially, there's somebody who don't need to have a kid because they didn't do the math. They're coming here to have babies to establish their child's citizenship. Yeah. Thank you, Cam, for posting the bundles. I thought the Nivea interview was heartfelt. Well, Digital B Media, I'm not saying it wasn't heartfelt. What I'm saying is this woman is almost having a nervous breakdown talking about having her kids and raising them basically by herself. And the fact that the two fathers, they could have helped her. They're in a position in the industry where they could have helped her put out more music. They could have helped her tour. They could have helped her do a lot of stuff. But they chose not to. Because after they moved on from her, it was like they didn't care. They don't care about her and they don't care about those kids. And I'll say that. And you can be like, Erica, you don't know that man. That man love his kids. That man care about his kids. Trust me, like, that man really was caring. As much money as they have, they could take those kids. Trust. Via court, via other situations, they could take those kids. I wouldn't say she necessarily looks like a hot mess. I would say she looks like someone who She probably during the week just has her hair in a ponytail, running around dropping kids off in slacks and pajamas. And people say she was on drugs. I don't necessarily think she's on drugs. What I will say is she may be on pills to kind of self-medicating herself. But I've seen people who are just depressed look like that. I've seen people with severe anxiety look like that. And it not be drugs. It just be, severe anxiety. So, Erica, I died and got resurrected again from that tip on U-Haul investing info. Dude, I love posting information like that because, people are always talking about U-Haul companies. And I'm like, you can invest in U-Haul trucks directly and get paid. So, my kid has never been to daycare, enrolled in private school since he was old enough to attend. There you go, Thomas Jackson. Homeschool for the win. I'm telling you, Black Knight Code, and I was sitting there confused. I was like, did this boy just walk out of this room and his mom just straight S'd on him? Like, why are you with my son? You seem like a really smart girl. Damn. And then further said, most of my son's wives aren't that great. And I did look at their family photos and I was like, I could tell. They had one son married to a white girl. And then that white girl divorced him. I can't remember. I remember I checked on him on Facebook a couple years ago. And the one son, like she had like 6 kids total. But she had like one son married to a white woman and one daughter. Just one daughter, all the boys married. And she was married to a white man. The one daughter still married to the white man. But that white woman kicked that other son to the curb. I was like, and they're real black people. They were like real dark skinned. I just always thought that was super interesting. I was like, wow, I've never experienced that. I agree. I'm hiring a private teacher for homeschooling in the future, after school, robotics and coding programs. Yeah. I mean, you could even hire people to come. Like there's teaching groups and they like teach together, all kind of stuff. Oh, okay, Rail. I like that. I put my 4-year-old in private school, no more public school. Island trucker. I'm telling you, like when your money goes there, that school has to answer to you a little bit quicker. Not worried about socializing the kids because summer camps and after school programs will have it. Exactly. Now I do have a friend who was like, and also let's be honest, in the black community, people are having issues with having, play dates, right? Like I was telling my sister she needs some play dates, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not watching somebody else's kids," because you're misunderstanding what a fucking play date is. A play date isn't the other mom dump her kids on you for a couple hours. It's actually 2 moms go somewhere and the kids play and the moms talk. White and Asian women get that. For some reason, black women don't get that. They think, oh, I get a free babysitter. There's nothing free about this. You don't get to come dump your baby off on someone. Golly. Keep it at 100. Homeschooling and investing in a nanny is one of the best investments if you have a wealth creator. I'll play kickball. Asia, thank you. I mean, I'm like, somebody? Oh, exactly, Cam. Thank you, Cam. I mean, I've literally been throwing money on Fiverr, like wasting money. I was like, I'm trying to learn the motorcycle first. Exactly, Brenda Bartender. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Yes, I did. Listen, Dennison Construction Services. We have to talk about Big Blue Lisa because she be out here wilding. Cam just said the schools in NYC are trash. There was a video on Comedy Central. Has a black Comedy Central called Comedy Central, which is funny. It's just, they're making fun of it. And it's just all these black characters they have doing these shows over there. Super interesting if you find it on Facebook. It's like so underrated. I'm so shocked. But there was this one video and it was talking about NYC is gross. And everybody was talking smack on NYC. They're like, you can't handle NYC. And then he starts saying all the gross things he saw while he lived in New York City. And they're like, isn't that proving our point? Yeah, it is. Like, it's just, NYC's trash. Thank you, Michaela Henry. Yeah, every show can't be a financial blockbuster. Today is just a silly show. Afrotech was just here in NYC. It was amazing. Was it at Cam? I'm planning on going to Afrotech. There's so many startup capabilities. There's a person I really want to bring on my channel. I doubt I can get him. He is doing his residency right now of medical school. Like, he's doing the residency part. And he's a multimillionaire. He basically got a bunch of huge money for our scholarships, took that money, invested in a couple startups out there in California, and boom, and bought one rental property. And the rental property was a condo in San Francisco. It Airbnb'd out for 17 grand in a month. He living a dream. Living a dream. So, personal responsibility is the cornerstone of wealth. Yeah. We have a lot of people in our group who have a third world mentality in a first world country. Katrina exposed this. Woo! Well, the sad thing too is, like, you have some of these farmers out in the middle of nowhere basically coasting. Like, there's some little towns I've gone to and I'm like, how do these restaurant diners stay open? They, truckers, people coming in, they stay open just coasting. They own the building. They don't have to sell too much. Girl waitresses, it's amazing. At the men, I hope they're tall. Stop it, Denison. I don't mind short men. As long as you're muscular, that works for me. I'm only 5'7", barely. Some Katrinians didn't get their stuff together, moved to Texas, and were displaced again. Yeah, there's some people that's been here. One of the biggest issues in Houston is the fact that they were saying Louisiana people are loud. Now, what do they mean? They mean like they stand on the corner and sell drugs. They stand out in public places selling drugs. When people in Houston, Texas, they were selling drugs inside the house. Like, you come inside the house and pick up your whatever, and then you go and leave. And I was like, okay, that's still bad. But they were saying the description of, like, that southernness, that, like, that flashy personality, like everybody see them doing something, which is part of the complaint, right? But also the thing of it is, too, those people from New Orleans, they've had all these years to get some kind of skill. I mean, just go to the freaking community college, something. There's just no excuses for this stuff. And it's a lack of trying. It's like, well, I don't know nobody else doing it, Erica. I don't know nobody else doing that, so I ain't gonna do that. It's just like follow the leader shit. It's like, I remember somebody I want to put a blog up. Dude, blogs were blowing up 6 years ago. Where you been? You just saw somebody else make some money, so now you want to do it. It's like, you got to have some mastery of your own. Thank you, Tiffany Brown. I mean, they could have built a vehicle in that time. I mean, they didn't even have to build a vehicle. They could buy a $500 beater car and drove it around. Something. Dang, did you just say Viagra? I can't. There's also a Black Tech Conference. It's happening in Kansas on November 16th. Oh, I don't know about that. I'll be at the marijuana conference. Get in where you fit in. For me, that's with other nerds and queer. I'm telling you, when I went to one of these Black Tech conferences, what was funny is, like, all the guys are like, hey, are you an engineer too? I'm like, nope. But, I get it. They're flirting within their circle. I get it. Thank you. Big Booty Brenda is amazing to look at, but I really don't want to deal with that, the rest of it. If she purposely showing off her booty, she's overcompensating for things she's lacking. Oh yeah, Black Knight Cody, I talked about this about trannies. Like, somebody's like, I can't tell when a tranny's out here. I can tell when there's a tranny. You know how you can tell? They're overdoing it. They're the V-necks to the damn belly button. The dress they're wearing is so over the top. The heels, the shoes, the makeup's like 50 pounds of makeup. You're like, you're an exaggeration. Like a caricature of a woman. You're not a woman. It's almost disgusting. It's like when you see them, and when men say, I didn't know she was a tranny. How, bro? You ain't seen a real woman in your life? What that is not a real woman. Same thing with the men. I've seen people that try to dress like a man. Way over the top. Pants sagging to their butt. Like, there's a video of this woman who broke a bike in half. She's a big fat lesbian. I don't really want to say it. And she was having these shorts on. She was sagging, butt show. I'm like, what are you doing? It's just so over the top. It's so over exaggerated. So when you see people in the summertime with no drawers on and some summer dress, you're like, honey, in the winter, you got to get a personality or a job. So just calm it down. Mary J. Blige CD. That is a good one, Rail. That might have fooled me when I was younger, but now I'm older. I want substance. Well, the fact is, most people get in trouble before they even get there, though. They start having these kids and doing silly stuff before they get older enough to go, oh, shit. Apple Mac, what's up? Erica, I checked your website in Hood Estates. Go to Hood Estates on Instagram. No one's putting a course on freight broker. No, I'm not putting it together. They want to, they can, but I'm not. Erica, it's funny when you were talking about the weight problem because I just watched a video listening to all those Black Hollywood stars who died from being overweight. Bro, and these people, I respect them. They're really big in their industry. Like one girl speaking on the stage at one of these events I'm going to, and she commented the other day that people were making fun of her. But it's not like she's a little bit over. Like she's like overweight. Like she ain't got no neck. Like I got a chubby neck here, but she ain't got no neck. It's like body, no neck. And like my thing is when you get that much money, there's no excuse. Like she's making money. Like she's not one of these YouTubers, Instagrammers and stuff that ain't making money. Like she's making money. And she could literally pay a trainer more than I could. Like she could pay a trainer to come 4 days a week. I'm paying for 2 days a week here. Okay. That's my thing. I'm like, I'm paying for 2 days a week. She could pay for 4 days a week. She got that kind of money. It's just like, do you value it? Is it a problem? It's a problem, yo. You got to determine it's a problem. And that's really the biggest thing we're having with this whole Colin Kaepernick thing is like, oh, police brutality isn't a thing. If you can't have a majority of your society determine that murdering people is a problem, a house divided among itself cannot stand. The problem is right now there's a lot of poor Americans in the inner part of America complaining about welfare and stuff like that. When they're on welfare, they're the biggest districts getting welfare and getting food stamps and getting all this stuff. When they could grow a garden in their backyard for real and have chickens for real. And then you have people on the edges, of course, who are on the coastal places where it's really expensive. I mean, the problem is in America, we have people not meeting in the middle on what is a problem in our country. Woo, that sounds a little strong. Okay. PC, that meant we're not all car thieves if we can't open a car. Franklin, don't hold back. Listen. Oh, no. Rayo said there's a strip club accepting EBT. I'm pretty sure that's illegal on every level. Apple Mac, hey, Erica, this morning I went to check out a property with 2 small houses on it. The second house is run down, but the first is okay. Price is great, good for buy and hold. Get it? I'm getting together about 3 to 4 purchase strategies as we speak. Listen, the whole reason I'm doing that funding book is because people kept saying, oh, I can't find any money. I'm like, there's money everywhere. So I've started putting that together. I'll be on Hood Estate speaking on their program on Tuesday. But the key here is leads. Like, just to finish this out, because I need to get inside this gym, because I've been out here ranting for like an hour and a half, is getting leads in. And that's the thing, same thing with consistency, mastering something. Excuse me. Wow. Mastering something. And these people aren't mastering anything. So there's a guy, House Buying Brian. Go follow him on Instagram. Literally knocking doors, vacant houses. There's people wanting a solution to their problems. So you can make a lot of money in that. P-City, here's my thing. The number of kids who come out of wealthy homes and ain't doing shit, that's still a failure on the parents. I hate to say it to you, but your kids are your outcome. Your kids are your damn fault. If you have a little Johnny who's an entitled brat, you should have put little Johnny in some kind of camp or something in the summer away from y'all so he could learn to appreciate something. It's very rare. There was an article talking about black middle class and the kids becoming poor after them. Well, if mom and dad got a really good government job, but they didn't teach you anything, they still failed. They still failed. Like that was their one job. Their one assignment in life was to guard the legacy that they created. Your kids are your legacy. If you have a bunch of bums coming out of your house, that is your fault. If you have a bunch of people who cannot make it in America, there's actual adults I see who are living at home and they're in their mid-30s. And you be like, oh, you moving out? Yeah, I'm going to buy a house. But they really are never going to buy a house. They're going to live the rest of their life with their parent. And they're completely okay with that. And you did not make it a functioning adult. I know women right now who are like, oh, I couldn't find a husband in Austin, so I moved back home to my hometown. But they're living at home with their parents. So essentially what they're doing is becoming a Spencer. They're just cementing it now. Instead of saying, you know what I have to do? I have to go on some dates with some ugly dudes. I have to go on some dates with people that I may not be that attracted to and see if there's some potential there for me to go live my life as an independent adult, possibly in a marriage. That's just truth. That's ugly truth, but people don't want to hear that. That's that whole security blanket marriages. Those women marrying at those 60-year-old dudes and they're in their 40s. They're just trying to like secure the bag at last minute. Milwaukee, I'm telling you, again, some of these people, it's not financial. It's they are not equipped. You can technically have a baby after menopause. Very unlikely the natural way, but definitely through in vitro. Well, anti-gravity, she didn't have menopause. There's a lot of women. See, I think men, I'm being very nice. I think men have got fed a lot of lies on YouTube that, oh, after 35, a woman can't have a baby. She in the grave. She old. And that's really stupid. But it really only applies to white women. There's a lot of white women at 35. I think half the American white women in the United States that are 35 and up have no kids or something. It's some real high, ridiculous number. But there's something about 35. When I had to go to a specialist, I had to go to a particular doctor. His waiting room was full of white women who weren't that old. He didn't have any minorities. And he makes a joke. He's like, black women, Hispanic women have babies all the time. What are you talking about? And it's the data's there. The Army keeps great data on all these black women 39 in the Army having babies. Because they're trying to get that window just in case they get to the 40s. And so I'm not surprised these women 41 and 42, 43, black and Hispanic and Asian having babies. I'm surprised when it's a white woman. I'm like, there's something to the genetics. There's something to internal organs. They did a whole study on it. The whole like, I think a lot of men have been fed this theory, and it's accurate for the majority white lady. It's not accurate for brown ladies, Hispanic, Asian. It's not accurate. It's just not accurate. So there's a lot of like, oh, y'all have menopause. You're 42, you in menopause. And that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm seeing a lot of people get married at 40, 41, 42, 43. Those ladies are not in menopause. Like, you're putting a time clock, an imaginary time clock, or a very overgeneralized time clock on women, which is the sad part, because all that does is rob you of the potential to have healthy relationships because you're trying to go get 29-year-olds to have kids. So, Apple Mac, the fact is many people have kids they do not want and cannot wait to get rid of. People use school as a time to get rid of their kids, but also would never admit it. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of those losers. We see those people. Can anyone put in the chat the U-Haul investing, please? Nope. We're saving that for another video. We have a problem observing what is working for other cultures and follow suit. Woo! What's up, Andre Hatchett? I've been cutting up today. I was going to bring Andre on the show, but he was busy. My sister will be representing Squarespace. Nice. At Afrotech Beauty Makeover. Back in the day, you had a chance to buy this big rundown house about 3 blocks from Lake Meredith in Oakland, but passed. That house is now worth $1 million. Dang. Apple Mac, hold up. Nah, y'all can't talk about New Orleans people. 7 Ward, I'm sorry. You already know we're going to talk about y'all. Thank you, Apple Mac. You're correct about trannies. I learned this years ago in San Francisco. Rule of thumb. I always tell people if it looks too good, it's a dude. Women come out that, listen, as a woman, I will say this, and people can say, oh, you don't speak for all women. I don't have to speak for all women. I just know as a woman, I can go out the house in sweats and yoga pants and a very simple shirt. And men will still be like, hey, girl. Hey, how you doing, girl? Hey, girl, how you doing? I don't have to overdo it. I don't have to do all this walking and sashaying and shaking my butt. I don't have to do all that. Trainees do that because they're trying to mimic what is naturally a feminine, I have hips thing as I walk my booty jiggles. Whatever. That's just natural. That's natural. They're trying to overcompensate to get that attention. I don't have to do that. Just naturally have a booty and it naturally jiggles. You just walk down the street. Do. And people are like, hey, girl. Hey. You're like, hey. How you doing, sir? Have a good day. I'm sorry. That was rude of me, but I had to sell it. Oh, yeah, anti-gravity. It's gonna mess up all those areas. Jamaica, listen, this is my rule of thumb, and I'm gonna finish this video out. When people say they go and take a course with somebody else, go follow that course. But I will say this, 80% of banks don't even use Dun & Bradstreet for any of their banking, their business banking. They don't. So I know people are going hardcore on the Dun & Bradstreet. I got to get my Dun & Bradstreet, but 80% of banks aren't even using that. So what does it matter? There's other techniques out there. But that's a part of something I want to talk to in the future. Like, I don't want you coming on here and say, well, this person did this and this person said that. Go follow their course. If you took their course, go follow all the steps and come back to us in 6 months and tell us if it worked. That's the problem. We follow too many different people and then we're like, oh, this didn't work or that didn't work. And it's like, that's okay, but just take one strategy at a time and see if it'll work for you. One strategy at a time, because then you can test see if the results are there. Digital B media, that's true. A lot of parents are like, I took care of you to 18 and I did my job. It's true, cosmetism. Anti-gravity for a woman, you should be married by 25. I'm sorry, anti-gravity. The numbers just don't support that. The statistics show on average, the average marrying age right now for men and women is like 27 to 32. A big bulk of people are wrapping it up in that time frame. And then another segment of people are wrapping it up. For black women, I think the highest numbers are 32 to 35 years old. First windows. Look at this, you guys. Can y'all see? If you could hear their conversation, it is like lughead conversation. They've been outside the car. I'm like, if y'all don't shut up in my video. Hey, Erica, I'm going to tell Master P you talking about us. Hey, I don't care. There are some people that are, Erica, you didn't mean it that way. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. So look, this show's been going on for an hour and 30 minutes. I got to get in the Gold's Gym. My personal trainer has rules and metrics for me to follow on the weekends. So I got to go. But look, you guys, you've been amazing. The bundle 1 and bundle 2 are in the course. We definitely are going to talk about this, some more different things. This was a cut up Sunday. I had a good time. Hope you had a good time. Don't send me no hate email. Keep it to yourself. If you want to join the private Facebook group, the links will be below. If you want to have a consult with me, the links will always be below. If you want to get bundle 1 or bundle 2, the links are in the chat. Cam's been posting them repeatedly, and they will be in the description of the video. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for hearing me rant. Thank you for sharing with me some silly stuff. I just thought it was funny because they've been standing by this car. I don't know if y'all could hear them talking or not, but they've been standing there, and I'm like, could you please move further down? But they haven't, so they've just been standing there. So, okay. All right, you guys have an amazing day. This is Erica from the Classy Clown blog. Have a great day.